Social media doesn't grow businesses anymore. In fact, over the last 10 years, I actively avoided posting on social media, and I've made over $40 million on the internet. So in this video, I'm going to show you the simple process to find clients, sell your offers, and automate a business that can make you $40,000 a week without ever having to post a story, a reel, or a wordy LinkedIn update. So before you can make any money online without relying on social media, we have to get one crucial piece right. Otherwise, like dominoes, the whole thing falls. This is the very first thing that my team works on with new clients, like Ali, who after getting this right was able to land her first £3,000 client, or Bria, who sold her $4,500 services for the very first time, or Hussein, who signed 2 clients, both worth $25,000 each. The commonality between all of these clients is that they had a perfect offer ready for their ideal clients. Before ever making serious money, we have to be confident in our offer and that it will sell. There are 2 things we need for an offer that can make $40,000 a week or even charge $25,000 per client like Hussein. So let's say that your initial goal is you want to earn $20,000 with the business and you're deciding how much to charge for the offer. Let's say you lowball it and you go for $100. You would need to generate 200 customers. Now, what makes this harder is that these are 200 unique people with unique problems, lifestyles, stages within the problem, and wants and needs and desires. However, if we just decided to raise our price and go for 2,000, we would only need 10. Now, this might seem like an oversimplification, but it's not. It is so much easier to sell 10 people at $2,000 than 200 unique people at $100. And so the first thing we need to do is start with pricing. So often people get this backwards and assume pricing is the last thing we decide upon. But in reality, we want to earn a certain amount and we need to work backwards in order to make this a viable business. Well, you might be asking, well, what exactly do I sell for $2,000 or more? And that's the second tick box. It's the same thing that Phil worked on when we changed his price from $37 to $4,000. In order to charge high ticket prices, our offer needs to tick one or more of these 5 elements. The perfect high ticket offer should allow your client to either save time, make more money, avoid mistakes, remove the confusion, or provide them a transformation. These are the things that people will pay the big bucks for. From my experience and hundreds of my clients' experiences, the best way to do this is by selling our knowledge in the form of an information business like online coaching. And creating an offer like this takes very little time when using a framework that I've created. In fact, we've had clients go from nothing to a $2,000 offer mapped out in a matter of hours, like Nicole, who within a day of following this was able to close 2 clients at $4,500 each. Now, there's a few different ways that you can create what I call a pop-up offer like this, but I'll share with you the easiest. If you've got your prospect over here, and this is where they currently are with the problem, and we're trying to get them over here to where they have the solution and they're super happy. All we have to do is break up the journey that they would need to go on into 5 to 8 steps so that we've broken up the big daunting thing that you're going to help them ultimately achieve into more bite-sized achievable things. And we're going to offer them weekly one-to-one coaching sessions to where we're going to work with them on each of these pieces, and we won't move on until we've achieved the previous. And because initially there's nothing but your one-to-one time involved, you can sell this immediately. So once we have a high ticket offer, selling our knowledge, I want to show you the system needed to get this offer in front of your ideal audience without aimlessly posting online for months. It's nailing this part of the process that makes the whole thing work. As soon as Brooke implemented this, she launched and made 12,000 in just 7 days. David had 9 people sign up for his online training, totaling £27,000, and Ian didn't post anything at all on social media, but was still able to turn £12,055 into £400,000 for his business. I actually created a framework for this entire system, and what I'm about to cover is just a part of the process. But if you want to follow along and even understand the other sections of this that my clients have used to build their entire business around, then this is included in the framework bundle that you can download for free by clicking the link in the description box or the top comment. So what I'm going to focus on for right now is step 2 and step 3 on this momentum framework, and you can follow along if you grab the bundle. Step 2 is how we drive traffic, and there are 3 ways that we can ultimately generate traffic in the business. The first is buy it, the second is build it, and the third is we can borrow it. Now let's first talk about build it, because this is the posting on social media. This is where you're trying to build a following on YouTube or a LinkedIn profile or Instagram or TikTok. And it's not that this has no place in the business, it can be a bolt on to what you're doing. But ultimately, if you're in a position right now where you need fast clients right now, then this is not gonna cut it. We need something faster. And that would be the buy it traffic. And this is the strategy that all of my clients I just told you about have been able to use. This is putting $1 into Meta ads and hoping for 3, 4, or 5 back out. And if we can do that on repeat, it's like a slot machine, we always win. And the advantage here is speed. We don't have to post something online and fingers crossed hope this one takes off. And if it doesn't, we've lost yet again another week or another month or another year. We can press a button and guarantee traffic into the business. And as long as we can convert that traffic, we're gonna win. Now that's step 3, which we'll get to in just a moment. But just before that, let's focus on the final part of step 2, which is borrow it. This is a strategy that you can be deploying alongside the buy it. While we're getting our paid ads to work, we can be looking to borrow someone else's audience, finding someone who's got a podcast, a stage, an email list, hosting webinars, someone who has already put in the time, energy, effort, and money to build an audience, and we can find a way to partner with them and be positioned in front of that audience. So that was step 2, and now we need to talk about step 3, and it's step 3 that last month was responsible for $160,000 in revenue for my business without posting a single thing on social media. And step 3 is a conversion vehicle, a sales funnel that we are sending all of this traffic into. And there's a couple of pieces that we need to get just right inside of this conversion vehicle before we then pass that traffic and now these leads into the sales process. And the first is lead capture. Too many people are making the mistake of missing lead capture, and it's one and done. You send your traffic to your website, you make the big main offer, and a very small percentage will take it, if any at all. And most people leave and you're never going to hear from them ever again. So we need to make sure that whatever you're sending that traffic to has a way of collecting their name and email and potentially even a phone number. And this will enable us to be able to follow up with these people later down the line. Once we have captured those leads, this goes into the conversion vehicle that's going to be able to provide value to the prospects and get them more excited about working with you and maybe buying your stuff. I've tested a variety of different conversion vehicles, from VSLs to challenge funnels to live events, you name it, I've most likely done it. The best thing, the most effective, the most profitable, the most scalable strategy is a webinar. A webinar will allow you to take your prospects off of these platforms where they're so distracted and put them in an environment where they're giving you their captive attention. Second to that, you have the ability to provide value. Before you ever ask for the sale, you are giving first. And thirdly, a webinar has a built-in lead capture mechanism. So no need to create something else as a lead generation tool. They opt in to register for the webinar, so you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And by the way, if you want to learn more about webinars specifically, in that bundle I told you about in the link in the description box, I've got a bunch of resources in there that I think will really help you. Now there's one last piece to this puzzle. We have an offer, a way for people to hear about it, but how do we capitalize on this momentum? The next step is how with very little effort, we can have people buying your offer again and again and turn this motor into an engine. I used to ignore this part of the process because I fell into the trap of thinking I needed to spend all my time finding new leads, new clients, new people to speak to, and it was exhausting. The mistake was thinking that each and every time I wanted to sell my product or service, I essentially had to start over again, keeping me stuck in this hamster wheel of finding leads and clients, then delivering for those clients. To save you that pain and give you the shortcut, we next need to look at the final step in the system, which is nurture and convert. So the big idea here is we spend all this time and effort and money generating these leads. Now, what are we doing with these leads to convert more of them over time? Well, there's loads of different ways and loads of different campaigns and promotions that we can do and we can send these people to that will over time provide more value, build more goodwill, build more trust with you, and ultimately more conversions, more clients over time. Some people are ready to sign up with you on day one. Some people take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So if we stay in their inbox, we're going to pick up more clients over time. If you don't do this, then let's imagine you generate 100 clients, and this is very messy, I realize, but it's going to illustrate the point. Let's say you generate 2 clients from from your first 100 leads and then you do not do anything with nurture and convert. Well, then you are now tasked with going back out there on social media, trying to drive more traffic to get another 100 leads to get 2 more clients. It's going to cost you money to generate that traffic. Whereas if you were following up with these leads, if you were nurturing them, if you were converting more, what you will find is this same 100 leads, there are more buyers in here. You just haven't activated them yet. By month 2, another couple become clients. If these clients are worth $10,000 to you, there was another $20,000 hidden in this list of 100 leads. By month 3, you might find you've converted a bunch more. Now let's skip ahead a year or two. As you're building momentum with this whole system, you might find that initial 100 leads you have converted potentially even 1/3 or half of them. Think about how much lost revenue that would have been for your business had you not known this. So I've touched on half of the momentum framework, but understanding the whole thing in detail and how it all comes together could 10x your efforts. So check this out. Watch the in-depth masterclass where I break down the entire framework beginning to end. You're going to love it, and I'll see you there.